God damn it, really?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to I'm Okay, You're Okay. I'm not okay. You're not okay. With me, Bob Schneider, and your other host, Clint Wells. You're welcome.
It is funny that no one really knows anything, and except they're what they've been told.
Yeah, you tell me something, and I believe you because you're a trustworthy person. And then I tell everybody that I meet for the rest of my life that information that you imparted upon me. Now, then I find out years later that the thing that you told me was actually not true. Now, am I going back through time and undoing all that? No. It's just, that's the way all information is. Oh,
It's also just staggering how much people don't know about anything.
Well, let me put it this way. The Earth is the center of the universe and everything revolves around the Earth. Also, the Earth is flat. Also, I am the walrus. Also, everybody relax. You're all going to die. Oh, by the way, you're going to die. Oh,
Well,
you didn't know that? Yeah, you're going to die. So be kind. Be as kind as possible all the time to everyone.
Well, speaking of that, I've now been doing a lot more YouTube content for my other podcast. And good Lord, that has opened me up to internet things that I'd never had to see before. And what a lot of it is just sheer stupidity. And I'll give you an example I dealt with just this morning. And I've got to find a way to have it not put me in a bad mood, which I've been doing better. Because it'll put me in a bad mood, boy, real fast. And
oh, yeah.
I put out a reel of me talking about the movie Sinners. And you and I don't have to get into it, but I'm a big fan of Sinners. I thought Sinners was an amazing achievement, and for lots of reasons. And it's being compared to From Dusk Until Dawn, the Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movie, which I'm a huge fan of.
I agree with you. I think they're comparable.
Well, it's two gangster brothers who end up going to a bar, and that bar, it turns out, whoops-a-doo, is filled with vampires. So, yes, I understand. I think it's an homage, but I've got these internet people that are like trashing the movie Sinners, and they're like, it's no From Dusk Till Dawn. It's nowhere even close. It's mid at best. And they're saying all this shit. And so I'm trying to continue engagement on the internet. I don't really care what anyone thinks about anything. But I'm going, why do you think that? That's interesting. Interesting point. And one guy he started off super rude. He's like, Sinners is trash. From Dusk Till Dawn is the shit. Whatever. And I said, well, we obviously disagree. I said, but it's okay. And I said, why do you think that? And he wrote, bro, I've got over 4,000 horror movies in my collection. Sinners is mid at best. And I just write, you didn't answer my question at all. You provided no reasoning at all. I don't give a fuck how many DVDs you have, boy.
By the way, that's too many DVDs. You don't need them now. It's all online. Figure out the internet and get rid of your DVDs.
Everyone's going back to the physical media, Bobby.
Not everybody. Not your boy. Not your boy B. Schniz.
Not my boy.
Schnids. No, Schnids is staying strictly in the virtual world.
Schnids isn't getting a reel-to-reel player anytime soon?
Oh, I bought myself a reel-to-reel player, and it sat in this studio collecting dust for years until finally I think I unloaded it on someone, unless it's still where it was. And it's not. So somebody came in here one day and I was like, you want it? You got it. Toyota.
And what is your most prized possession in that room?
Me.
other than the brain and the heart and the guts and the sinews of one Bobby Schniz Esquire.
I'm not telling these damn thieves on the internet what my favorite possession is in this room. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
This cup right here, this charming Libra cup. It's my favorite coffee cup. It says charming and then Libra, and then below that, which I never noticed until I just read it right now, it says impatient. But your boy's anything but impatient. Your boy's the picture of patience.
You are a very patient person. I rarely have ever seen you lose it.
Dude, I was talking to Jay Thomas. Boom, 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 boom. Who likes to party after the show?
Jay Thomas.
Jay Thomas. Anyways, I was talking to him. He's worked with me for 16 years, 18 years. It's been a while. And somebody had gotten angry at somebody. And I was like, Jay, have you ever seen me get angry with anybody ever the entire time we've worked together? And he's like, never. Dude, I'll go even further. I've never yelled at my children. I have a 20-year-old child. I've never yelled at him. I have an 11-year-old daughter. Never yelled at either of them.
Well, that
Now,
takes a lot of restraint and patience. No
now
doubt. No diggity doubt.
have asked me this question. Let me riddle me this, young master of the riddling arts.
Mm-hmm.
Have they yelled at my wife? Have they yelled at my wife? Has she brought out the demons? Has she resurrected the demons from the fucking hard wired, fucking cemented, closed furnace of my fury? Has she opened that door?
What do you think about the people that are like, I've never had a fight with my spouse? It is kind of like,
That's
really?
dumb.
I mean, how?
Well, that's because they're in a relationship with somebody who's obviously a pushover. Like, if you haven't been into a real struggle fight with your partner, then what are you doing with that person? You're not going to see eye to eye on everything. And you want somebody to stick up for them. Dude, I could never be in a relationship with a pushover. Like, I've been with women who are like, the answer to every question is no problem. You want to do that? Sure. No problem. Hey, can I hit you across your fucking filthy mouth a few times with these balls hanging out of my hands?
Oh, no.
No problem. No, don't get me wrong. If I came across that lady, that's marriage material. I have not found that lady.
Can I put you in a box for 2 weeks and only feed you what I slide through the one slot in the box?
Oh, dude, box folk. They're out there.
Folk, I know.
The problem with box folk, if you don't know what box folk is, it's a person you put in a cardboard box. They put themselves in the cardboard box. There's no this is all voluntary.
This is willing participants.
It's not a cage that you lock somebody up in that they can't get out of and then you eat them and kill them later. No, this is just an ordinary cardboard box. They get inside of it. There's a hole that you can put food or other stuff in. You use your imagination. We're not crass here. I'm okay. You're okay. We're gentlemen. And then they stand there for as long as they want. Now, do they pee and poop in there? No, they get out of the box and they go use the bathroom and then go back into the box because they like it in there.
I like the scenario better when they're peeing and pooping in there.
They can. I mean, that's an advanced box folk situation.
It really makes it real.
Nobody wants their room, because you keep them in your bedroom, by the way. You keep the box in your bedroom. You don't keep that in the living room.
That's a fun little pet.
It's a fun little part of the bedroom called the box that the person's in. You don't want that smelling like poop and pee. Trust. You don't want it to smell like old food. You want to keep it nice and clean. It's an empty box with a person in it.
Imagine that you're selling your house and you're doing a walkthrough and you're like, well, this is the vanity and this is the walk-in closet. That's where the box folk go. It comes with a clean box. We've cleaned the box out since the last willing participant was there.
Dude, remind me when we get to the Secret Weekly. You know who it is and I know who it is, but I want to talk about the only known 100% pure box folk person that we've met. It's a friend of ours' ex. And we can talk about
that's
it in the
right.
Secret Weekly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We can't mention it here.
Okay.
Because there's too many people that might hear about it. We can only mention it in the Secret
Weekly. Okay. I guess we should only talk about, because I was going to mention another anecdote about this person, but.
No, we have to. That's definitely has to go behind the firewall because that involves our friend. But it's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good story.
Let me run this by you. Let me get the Beach Schniz rating on this. So every Wednesday I go to dinner with a group of dudes at a Mexican restaurant, and I never eat there because I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm on like day 160, but I get to go.
Good. You're looking good.
Thank you. I lost 30 pounds or more. I quit weighing myself, so I'm past that now. Now I'm just like living healthy, and I'm still counting calories, but it's not as intense. But anyway, I always get Nova a meal because she loves, like, Tex-Mex style American Mexican food. And so I every Wednesday I get her a meal. I bring it home. We heat that up. That's what she takes to lunch on Thursdays. Well, last night I put the bag of food in the back of my car when I came home, and I forgot about it. I immediately came home, came in the studio, started working on stuff. So this morning I go to take her to school, and I came in and I told Isabel, I was like, oh, here's Nova's food from last night. And Isabel's real particular about food that's been left out. She's like really, anal about that. And I said, damn, crap. So I go take Nova to school. I come home and I'm hungry for breakfast. And Isabel has put the bag of food, it's wrapped up in a bag. She just placed it in the garbage. And your boy right here ate it. I took it out of the garbage. I took it out of
Yeah.
the bag it was in. I didn't
Yeah.
even heat it up, Bob. I ate it. It had been sitting in my car for 8 hours or longer. And I have no problem with that. Now, my question to you is, would you have eaten that? Is something wrong with me? Is that the Alabama in me?
Look, it's in a bag. It didn't touch any part of the garbage. It's in a sealed bag.
But what about it being old and having been left out and all the bacteria?
No, it's in a closed bag. It's what are you going to do? Put it in the fridge and chill it out? No, 8 hours is fine.
That's
What's
what
in
I
there?
thought.
What kind of what's in there? Like some meat.
It was a
beans?
ground beef burrito, rice and beans, and lettuce.
You're
and
fine. I
sour
mean, you're
cream.
right. Granted, you're right on the edge. You don't want to give that another 8 hours in the trash and then eat it. I think you're fine. Did you? Were there any repercussions that you were aware of?
Well, this was only a mere few hours ago, so far so good, baby. I got an iron stomach, but we may have to take an unplanned break here. But I wouldn't feed that to my daughter. To be clear, like I get it. I don't want her eating some bacteria and getting sick at school. We're not going to do that. But I'll eat it. Your boy ate it.
Here's what happens at our house. We put leftovers in the fridge. They are never eaten. They're just put in the fridge until they're ready to be tossed into the trash. I don't think anything has ever been put in the fridge and then eaten as a leftover. And then guess who? There's stuff from Chili's that's in the fridge that's been in there for a month. And I haven't thrown it away. So if I'm not, guess who's never going to throw anything out of the fridge? My wife.
Yeah, Isabel's
it's
similar.
me or no one.
Isabel really will not eat any food that's like been put in the refrigerator. She's just so paranoid about bacteria. And I'm like, why do you do it? But then she feels bad about throwing it away. But I end up just throwing it away. And then sometimes, because, life lasts forever in a marriage. So sometimes I'm like, I just want to see how long it'll stay in there. I'll play a little game with my life where I'm like, I wonder how long that fettuccine Alfredo will sit in there if I do nothing.
Oh,
and then, months will go by and I'm like, someone's got to throw this goddamn thing away.
Oh, I've had stuff. I mean, there's stuff in the cheese. We have a cheese drawer, of course.
Same.
There's been some cheese in the cheese drawer that went green, then went white. Then it was like somebody had smushed like a little white puffy dog.
Oh.
And that's still in there. And then eventually it gets to the point where it like pops the bag. Somehow there's gas that will start to leak out, and then you have to toss it. But the only person that's cleaning is this person that you're looking at.
Yeah. But we've talked about this. You find a way to impute that into love.
Well,
and then you are a Zen master. If you have found a way to impute that feeling into love feelings, and you have found a way around the mountain of contempt that awaits you, and just like Gimli and the brave travelers in Lord of the Rings who have to go through the mountains of Moria, and you face that flaming dragon, and Gandalf, or whoever the fuck the wizard is, says, "You shall not pass." If you've done that, you have really mastered something in life. You've found a secret key to a door.
I'm telling you, dude. I mean, here's the thing. It's called taking responsibility for what you want and what you do. Do I want to sit here and wait for the rest of my life for AI to finally catch up to science fiction, to the point where robots are making robots, to the point of where there's almost no cost to making them, and they get down to like where you can get a brand new humanoid robot for like a TV. Like, remember when plasma TVs were like $30,000, and now you can get an 81-inch plasma screen TV for like $1,400
or less? Yeah.
Robots will be like that in a couple of years. So you finally get a robot. Am I going to wait for that robot to come out and come to my house, cradle my balls, the way I like, the way I want, and then also new ways that I haven't even thought of that AI will come up with of cradling my balls. And I'm like, "Oh, AI, where did you learn that?" "Oh, of course I've read all the Karma Sutra, and I know all the things. How about this? Ooh, okay, we're done here. Now, go to the fridge and clean out the fridge." Am I gonna wait for that, or am I just gonna go do it and get it over with?
Well,
You
I said to my friend last night who works in a futurist department at Nissan, I said, there are going to be humanoid robots in 5 years. And you won't know if the person next to you at the restaurant's real or not. And he goes, dude, we're pretty far from that. Like I work in the future. You know, he made this big thing like, dude, we're pretty far. We're not 5 years from that. I said, okay, well, how many years are we from it? And you know what he said? 10.
10. Yeah, for sure.
I
I
said,
mean, we
dude,
don't
10's not
yeah,
that much farther than 5.
it's not a when, it's not an if, it's a when, and we don't know when, but it will happen. 100% there'll be humanoid
I think it
robots.
should all be made illegal as soon as possible. That's the only way to
Do
stop it.
Well, I don't think here's why it's not gonna happen, because even if we make it illegal in this country, there are other countries that will not make it illegal, and we need to be in front
We should
on
make
the
it
AI race.
globally illegal is what I'm saying.
Right,
But
but
that
you
ain't gonna.
can't.
I know.
And
But
it's not
that's
gonna
what.
happen because
When,
people will lie, and then
yeah,
it's an arms race,
it is an
and
arms
we
race.
we have to win it, period.
It's in my opinion, it's a race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom. You got the guys making it. You got the guys who are pushing it, saying there's anywhere from a 2 to 20% chance of human extinction. So, I mean, R.I.P.
All
Dude.
right, again, I will posit this. I've done it before. I will posit it
You
again.
won't.
There's 100% chance that we're going to die, all
Yes.
of us. 100% chance. So that's what we're dealing with. So say what you want about like AI or whatever, and yeah, 2% it'll kill us, blah blah blah.
20%.
Something's going to 100% something's going to kill you. If it's AI, great. I'll take it. I welcome death.
I don't. I don't want that. I
Well,
don't want to
I
die by
don't
that.
want it either. But the upside is there's a small percentage that maybe we don't even have to deal with death. Maybe we don't have to deal with doing anything we don't want to do ever again.
Well, that's the argument. The people that are like, because they openly admit that the chances are pretty high that this stuff will kill us, and we can't even imagine how they'll do it. It's just something you can't even think of yet. And they go, we know that. There's no gotcha there. They're like, yes, and yes, we want to accelerate developing it because they see all human existence, just like what you're saying. They're like, look, existential crisis for the human being is a portfolio of things: the hurricane, the tornado, the pandemic, the biological weapon, warfare. So what we're doing is we're making something that could cure cancer or dementia or elongate the human lifespan. And we're taking that 20% elimination factor and we're just putting that in the already large portfolio of things that are going to kill us all. The asteroids coming to hit the planet or whatever, plague and all this shit. They're like, it's just like that, except the plague isn't going to cure cancer potentially.
No.
The hurricane
plague
isn't ever going to cure your grandma's dementia.
Here's what the hurricane's not going to do. I mean, it might do it in a weird way that I don't want it to do, but it's not going to cut my balls in the way that I want my balls cut.
No, it won't. It won't do that.
The wind may snag my balls and rip them off in some frenzied hurricane style manner while I'm being
and it might feel
through the
good,
air like a rag doll.
And it might feel good for a sec.
For a minute, I might be like, "This is interesting."
This is the best thing.
But then I'm going to be so terrified because my body's going to be hurled through the air like Wizard of Oz, except unlike Wizard of Oz, it ain't no movie, boy.
How about in the movie Ghostbusters, which is, I'm going to go ahead and say 98% a family style romp through the territories of phantoms and ghosts, except for the one scene where the one ghost gives the one guy a celestial blowjob?
What? I don't even remember it.
Dan Aykroyd's character lies down on a bed in like a haunted room, and then his like belt starts getting undone, and this ghost sucks his little pee-pee in Ghostbusters.
That's called the who's the mayor of New York that was the mayor of New York during the 9/11?
Giuliani? That guy?
Giuliani. Have you ever seen the Giuliani thing where he's getting he's about to get a blowjob and
Oh,
it's
he's
all
in
on
the
film?
he's in the hotel room and taking his. Should I take my pants off? Or what?
Oh my God, dude. How about that guy just going from hero to zero? Oh my God.
Well, did you ever see that press conference he did where like he was sweating so bad and like
And
his
his
hair dye was like
shoe polish was coming down. Oh my God, dude. That's a thing, man. Getting old, becoming unwanted and unlovable is
I
such a
know.
rough ride,
It's
dude.
such a terrible thing. The only I was thinking about that recently. The only solace is that it happens to us all. I mean, that's the only respite from the
Mm-mm.
horror.
Guess what? Guess what? Your boy doesn't care about anybody but himself. I don't care that everybody else is going through it.
Didn't you used
I
to
don't
have an
like it.
didn't you used to have an email address that was like I'm all I
I'm
think
all I
about?
think about. Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, it's true. I mean, you can pretend that's not true, and you can pretend that like the reason that you want your children to survive you, to outlive you, is because you're altruistic, but really the reason is you couldn't stand the pain. Like it's too much for you to even imagine like watching your children die. So it's a selfish thing. Everything's self everything's self motivated. And again, you can, oh, I'm helping this person cross the road because they need help. I'm doing a good thing. But ultimately the decision making, the subconscious decision making is this will make me feel better if I help this person. If if helping the person across the street would help them, but it wouldn't make you feel better, you would never help the person across the street, period.
Yeah.
Anyways, game
No, it's
over. There's a period that you couldn't hear it because we have this new period silencer AI thing when we edit these. So you can't hear the thump of the lead ball that was the period at the end of that.
by the way, we are back on YouTube. Say hi to the YouTubers, Bob Schnizzle Dizzle.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? How am I
And
looking? How am I looking talking about myself and saying I'm the most important thing in the world?
no, I mean it is true. I remember studying this in college because there's a as you know, many of our listeners know, I was very religious for about 10 years, went to Bible college. And there is a principle that I deeply believed in, especially I was a Calvinist branded Christian. I was a very reformed theology type Christian. And there's a principle in that line of thinking called total depravity. And what that means is every part of you, even the parts of you that try to do good, is tainted in some way by depravity, by selfishness, self-interest. So I was pretty interested in that idea, and that's why you need Christ. Even if you never did the even if you never were a murderer or whatever the fuck, you still are totally depraved and you need imputation. You need Christ's blood to make you clean and all this other strange stuff. Christianity is very strange. But I'd found in my studies that there actually is something in like secular studies called psychological egoism. And it's exactly what you're talking about. It's what you're talking about that you sort of one of your big lessons from that movie, The Plague, is that everything you do, even the good things, are self-motivated ultimately.
I mean, who's the lady that helped the Mother Teresa?
Yeah.
Wrote in her diary, she wrote, "The reason I'm helping these lepers is because it makes me feel good." Period.
She
And then people
also,
are like,
yeah.
"Oh, they gave her a bunch of shit about it." She was dead. She was up with Jesus at that point, so she didn't give a fuck.
Well, they found a bunch of letters of her basically saying she didn't believe in any of it.
Yeah, of
She
course.
wrote a bunch of letters basically saying like they weren't cynical, but they were her confessing basically that she does not believe that her prayers are answered. She doesn't when she sits down to talk to God, she doesn't feel like anyone's listening, or that she basically was like, I don't think I believe in any of this. I would
Well,
like for it to be true, but I don't think I can honestly say I believe in it.
I mean, if you look at it realistically and truthfully, eventually it all falls apart because it's obviously all fabricated by human beings. But so, yeah, but I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe in any sort of man-made version of God, but I definitely believe in God, and I definitely believe that me praying to it and asking whatever it is for the serenity to accept the way the world is, I know that I get results from doing that action, taking that action, and I'm sure Mother Teresa felt the same thing. She was like, "Man, I'm helping these people. I'm feeling good. They're feeling better. So who cares? Who cares if it's true or not?" the action that I'm taking is working in my life. And so, you know,
Well, that's one of the arguments. That's one of the arguments for it. Like because there's even people who will argue for Christianity or faith because there's different arguments. There's the argument that it's true, right? Like if it's true, it's true. That means the talking donkey, the she was made from the rib of the man, like everything crazy about it, and God's going to judge the world and the book of Revelation. So there's a claim that it's true, and you have to just deal with all the truth claims of it. But then there's the claim that it may or may not be true. In fact, it's probably not true, but it's useful and therefore should be propagated in culture.
I love
It's
that.
yeah, it codifies certain morals that we agree are good, like don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. If you need to believe that you're going to be punished for it, if that's what does the trick, or if that's what gives you inner peace about the sort of horrible low hum dread that we are going to die, which is we're animals that aren't supposed to know that. The fucking gazelle doesn't know that, dude. The gazelle just does what it does. The lion doesn't know why it hunts the gazelle. The gazelle doesn't really know why it runs from the lion. And all they do is just try to eat every day and protect their kids. We sit around and think about art and comedy and because we know we're going to die. And it's just one of the most horrible truths imaginable.
I know, but dude, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm telling you, dude, I learned this talking to you on this podcast. This is one of the things I learned chatting with you because I never had it until we started talking on this podcast. I never had this idea because I was raised Catholic. I was brought up in the faith. The one true faith, as Jeffrey Asmus likes to joke, which is so funny. And so I've always believed in an afterlife, and I've always believed in some sort of a soul that lives beyond this world. And I was taught that if you're good, you go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell.
Right.
And I really truly hate the fact that that's part of my very early learning as a human being, because now, like, that's the part of death that I subconsciously fear, is that somehow my behavior on this planet will be judged by this deity, and that if I don't pass that test, then everything will be horrible thereafter. I don't believe that's true intellectually now as an adult, but it's lodged in there. So, but besides that, that's not what I was trying to get at. The thing that I learned from you is this idea that you die, and then you die, and then it's over. Lights out. No more Bob. No more thinking about my problems. No more worries. Just lights out. Dude, I've never considered that. And the more I consider it, the more I think, well, that just sounds fucking great,
Yeah.
dude.
Right.
So there is nothing in that I don't like at all. Now, the getting to death, and I know Woody Allen famously said, like, he welcomes death. It's just the getting to death part that I don't like. And that's the part that nobody likes, like cancer or some horrible fate where you're tortured to death, or
Well,
even
even you just said it
even old
earlier.
age.
Even just becoming less beautiful, less desired, more
Yeah.
invisible in society, less juice, less interest. You lose the taste to eat. Someone was just telling me that their 100-year-old grandfather died because he basically just quit eating food. he
Well,
just
dude,
he, he just lost interest in food and quit eating, and that's how he died.
Well, dude, that's the other thing that happens are all the small deaths that happen throughout your life. I just turned 60. So the 50-year-old me that was going around pretending for 10 years that I was like in my 30s or my early 40s, that guy's dead. He died just a few months ago when I turned 60. And I'm telling you, I got so sad and depressed because of the death of that me that's never coming back, never to be on this earth again. That 50-year-old pretend me is gone. Now I'm the 60-year-old pretend me that still pretends that he's like in his 50s, even though he's not, even though
Right.
he's 60.
Right.
So you have all these deaths that happen, deaths of friendships, deaths of like actual deaths of people that you'll never talk to again. Like Norm Macdonald, when he died, I know it sounds dumb, but when he died, I was like, man, I'm fucking pissed that I'm never going to hear what that fucking smart aleck bitch is going to have to say again.
He was a little
'Cause
bitch, wasn't he?
he's just so funny and so mischievous. I felt the same way about Bill Hicks when he died. I felt
Oh
that way
yeah,
about Mitch
Hedberg.
Hedberg when he died. Like these people that were just so funny, and I'm not going to be able to laugh when they
I,
say something funny.
dude, I watch it all the time. It never gets old. Is when he's talking to Larry King and he's like, "Is there anything about you that we don't know?" And he says,
The
"Well,
deeply closeted.
I'm a deeply closeted homosexual." He's like, "What? Are you coming out right now?" He's like, "Well, of course not. Why would I want to do that? I'm a deeply closeted homosexual." He's like, "So you're telling me you're gay?" He's like, "Of course not. Why would I say that?" He's like, "Whoa, whoa,
Oh
whoa
my
there."
god,
Anyway,
so good.
everyone go look that up because that's worth looking at. We got to get out of here and get out to the Siri Weekly. I'm going to remind you here right before we leave the main room of what we're talking about. Box folk, the person that is really a real in life box folk. We are going to reveal the name, address, phone number, and social security number of this actual person in the Secret Weekly. You can join us on Patreon. The links are below. And write in bobandclint@gmail.com. On next week's episode, we will be reading some fan mail. We're a little backed up over there and thanking new patrons. So we'll see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.